Okay.
Okay, what do you want to know? The what? You means what?
You missed what 2 hours of your session.
I know. Somebody purposely switched it off.
Huh?
Yeah. I can tell you that because our friend here went up and said it's off. Within a second, it's on. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay, Sri, just to clarify, say the crux of the matter was actually Subo's evidence. He gave two conflicting evidence to MECC, right?
No, three.
Three.
He gave 5 statements.
5 statements. Okay.
3 statements conflicting with the 2.
That means he gave conflicting statements to MECC, lah.
Yeah. In 3 separate statements out of 5, 3
Separate.
3 says differently from the 2.
Okay, there is one. But in the court,
In the court, initially, he said, yes, I signed.
in the prosecution.
Yeah, for the prosecution.
He signed.
From the witness statement, he said, yes, I signed all those instructions
All
to
the
the bank.
documents, lah.
All the banks. Yes.
Right.
All the document, he said he signed with Nick Faisal. He said, I signed because Nick Faisal's signature was already there. You understand?
Yeah, because
Yeah. And then Nick Faisal took all these documents whenever they are made, and what he did with them, he doesn't know.
okay, that's there.
But when I cross-examined him,
Okay, cross,
when I cross-examined him,
Okay.
I showed him 17 of such documents, which we transferred into transparencies, so that we can put it on a projector. Okay? All 17, including the 6 that relates to the 42 million. Okay? When we put one signature on top of the other, he was surprised because the signature was identical one to the other. That means it is, what do you call it? Cut and paste. And when you put it and juxtapose, 17 of them looks like one. So that means somebody cut and paste, and then the prosecution cross-examine. This is what I don't understand. In their re-examination, they also prove the way we prove that even Nick Faisal's signature is cut and paste, making our case even stronger. Which means what we are saying is, for you to have CBT, or for you to have this element of gratification under Section 23, that means the 4 charges lah, 3 CBT, 1 Section 23, okay? You must prove how the money moved out of SRC. How did the money move out? This is what they call actors rea, the act. You don't deal with the mens rea, the intention yet. Who moved the money out? Subo said, now that you showed me on transparencies, MACC never showed it to me like this, no comparison.
ke depan dan maju.
Induknya adalah Melayu.
Balik kepada support system, this is chain reaction.
Kalau itu yang dikehendaki, fine. Mungkin kita berbeza pandangan.
Tapi kita mempunyai kuasa yang boleh menentukan budaya di masa hadapan.
Polisi yang mesra wanita sudah tentu dia akan datang daripada pemimpin wanita.
Perang COVID-19 masih belum berakhir. Dalam kita berusaha memutuskan rantaian wabak ini, kita jangan terpedaya dengan virus maklumat palsu. Simak fakta melalui www.astroawani.com atau aplikasi Astro Awani. Teruskan berdisiplin, ratakan lengkungan pandemik ini.
The third wave of COVID-19 has taken us by storm. There's no room to take anything lightly. Everyone must follow all the steps to stop the spread of COVID-19. Social distancing, face mask, follow these steps, this SOP with the utmost discipline. Together, we can flatten the curve.
Bila sentuh soal berita, tiada masa untuk tunggu. Kepada anda kami bawakan fakta, susulan dan kupasan yang terkini. Tiada drama dan tiada pengulangan. Usah tunggu lama-lama. Awani 745 lebih awal dari biasa.
Kini berwajah baru.
Ini pula susulan khas pesawat Back Air di Kazakhstan. Pesawat berkenaan dilaporkan tergelincir 2 kali.
Notifikasi berita terkini dan navigasi mudah. Podcast dikemas kini dengan berita dan program
Rebirth, Reformasi, Resistance and Hope.
Serta video tanpa had dengan scroll tanpa henti. Buat turun aplikasi baru Astro Awani sekarang.
Semua yang terjadi adalah berita, tetapi tiada siapa yang boleh bawakan yang terkini dan tergempar seperti kami.
Dilihat hanya memberi wang tanpa matlamat yang tepat. Dia tidak melakukan apa-apa kesalahan.
Untuk mendapatkan jawapan yang bermakna, kita perlu soalan yang tepat.
Amat sedih dengan apa yang berlaku ke atas.
Tiada ruang untuk berita palsu.
Negara kita telah merekodkan kes harian baru sebanyak
hanya fakta yang diberikan.
Amat penting untuk meneruskan perjuangan negara melawan pandemik ini.
Sentiasa memastikan suara anda, suara rakyat didengari.
Kenapa?
Membawakan apa yang penting di mana sahaja anda berada.
Kerana kita nak putuskan rantaian jangkitan.
Belanjawan dan pendekatan bertemakan survival ini secara keseluruhan.
Teruskan bersama kami, Astro Awani, saluran berita yang paling dipercayai rakyat Malaysia.
Kenapa semua orang buat webinar ni? Because it's awesome and powerful. Astro Awani Link ialah nama baru untuk memperkasakan diri anda. Learn things that could help you live a better life. Interact and network with like-minded people. Melalui digital, kolaborasi boleh terjalin di mana-mana.
And then the prosecution cross-examine. This is what I don't understand. In their re-examination, they also prove the way we prove that even Nick Faizal's signature is cut and paste, making our case even stronger. Which means what we are saying is, for you to have CBT, or for you to have this element of gratification under Section 23, that means the 4 charges lah, 3 CBT, 1 Section 23, okay? You must prove how the money moved out of SRC. This element, how did the money move out? This is what they call actors' rea, the act. You don't deal with the mens rea, the intention yet. Who moved the money out? Subo said, now that you showed me on transparencies, MACC never showed it to me like this, no comparison. Now I can say they are not my signatures. Because somebody copy-paste my signature. Okay? Not only that, he now also said, or rather he also changed his evidence. He said, I never signed it physically. The statement that I said I saw Nick Faizal signing first, then I signed, is also not correct. And he admitted he made contradictory statement with the MACC. He said all that. Okay, very, very important. Now, he also said that I could not possibly have signed this document because I never, as a director, signed any document pertaining to transfer of money. I have never done that, he said. So that is why I submitted to the court that Subo was put under pressure by MACC because his passport was confiscated. He was under arrest and he was persuaded to come back from overseas. You remember he ran away from Bangkok, he went to Saudi somewhere, all that, Dubai and all that, and Jakarta, finally persuaded back. So 5 statements, especially after the last 2 statements, the IO said, I wanted him to be sure that he signed the document. After he said in 3 documents that he didn't sign. Okay, so there was some element of pressure. But in court, he felt free. And then he said, the MACC never showed the way you showed it to me. Namely what? You did the superimposition, and I can see that my signature was copy-paste. Same with Nick Faisal. Now, so in the light of that, quite clearly the prosecution case falls to the ground because he never transferred.
Entire case, huh?
Entire case falls to the ground because we're talking about 42 million, right? All these charges, Amla, semua is 42 million. So if 42 million, you cannot prove who moved the money from SRC.
Can I check? I heard the one you use the word collapse also, isn't it?
Collapse.
Huh? Can, huh?
Yes, collapse like a deck of cards.
Okay.
Just collapse. Because that is the actus reus. Who moved the money, how he got moved, who gave the authority are all not answered. Because Subo denied. Faisal, evidence was nothing on that. Through his statement, nothing about that. Okay? So the prosecution case should have failed. But you know what the judge did in the prima facie finding, which he changed into his main judgment? He said he may have forgotten lah. You know, that's what he said. Subo may have forgotten because he had a stroke. Subo himself never claimed that his memory has gone off. Only the judge gave him the excuse. Okay? So he says, surely this is a matter that he can take inference. How can you take inference when the witness, his last stand was, I didn't sign, this is a forgery. He said, this is a forgery. And the prosecution never re-examined him on that. They left it unchallenged. Okay? Not only they left it unchallenged, they aided us by saying Nick Faisal's signature also cut and paste. So if both signatories cut and paste, who remitted out of SRC the 42 million in the 3 tranches? Who remitted it? No answer. So if that is the case, who has got the control of the money to make it CBT? Who was expecting it as, gratification? Surely, if gratification, there must be a payer and payee. Correct? Who paid? No evidence of this. So that's why I say the case collapsed. The judge was bending backward, and I use this word, you can quote me. I said, this is a case, the judge behaved as a second prosecutor. He bent backward, and he tried to justify PW 42 and the prosecution's case. More than what the prosecution argued. So we have 2 prosecutors. Cases say you cannot have 2 prosecutors. The judge cannot descend into an arena where it is the field of the prosecution. You can't do that. Okay? That's basically it today. The main point lah.
So he saved the SP 42 lah.
SP 42.
For on behalf of the prosecution.
No. SP 42 we showed. There are 3 ways you can view SP 42. One is because of the inconsistent statement he made, contradiction, he is to be completely dismissed, cannot be trusted.
Statement to MACC.
Yes. And also what he said in his witness statement, and then he recanted in his cross-examination. And no repair by the prosecution, no repair in the re-examination. So that's one way. Second way is to see whether you can pick and choose, cherry picking lah. If you pick and choose, you must live by his last statement. This is not my signature. somebody forged my signature. So if you believe him, this is a forgery, we still win the case. Because that means nobody can testify who moved that money. Because he said he didn't move, neither is Nick Faisal. No. You can do cherry picking, one of the methods you can do. But the judge did not do cherry picking. The judge bent backward to save the prosecution case, which cannot be saved. Because bent backward, he acted as a second DPP, a second prosecutor. You can quote that because I said that in open court. And there are cases.
To save the prosecution case.
To save the prosecution case, he bent backward.
That's why you term him as he's a second prosecutor.
He's a second prosecutor. There are cases that say and deal with situation like that when a judge became a second prosecutor. Okay, there are many cases. Tomorrow I'm going to cite these cases in the morning.
Can I
but
check one more thing? I heard you saying that if the judge had discarded Subo, I mean your client would have been entitled acquittal without defence call.
Prima facie stage.
Without defence call.
Without defence call. Because a major element to show how the money moved out from SRC is gone. And how did it come to my client's account from indirect sources? How did it go to Mentari? Then from Mentari it went to the other. Okay. All right. So from SRC out is the most important question. Because it is SRC fund, you're saying. From SRC out, who caused it? Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry,
Sorry juga.